Hello my dear viewers, welcome back to Snap Kinder World channel, and today in this video I'm going to tell you a very thrilling story about the Pollock twins. In England there lived a beautiful couple named John Pollock and Florence Pollock. John was raised up in a Catholic church and Florence became a Catholic after marrying John. John believed strongly in reincarnation, which he first encountered in a novel at the age of 9. John later told interviewers that at night he would pray to God for evidence of reincarnation, proving himself right and the priests wrong. At the time of the twins' birth, John believed strongly in reincarnation, but Florence did not. Now let us see what really happened. Joanna Pollock, born in 1946, was the couple's third child and the first daughter. In 1951, when the family moved to Hexham in Northumberland, their second daughter, Jacqueline, was born. As their parents were often busy with their grocery and milk delivery business, their daughters were raised mostly by their maternal grandmother. The girls were inseparable. Joanna liked to take care of her younger sister, Jacqueline, which the younger girl accepted. At the age of 3, Jacqueline fell into a bucket, an incident that caused a small gash on her forehead over her right eye. This formed a permanent scar that was slightly depressed and was especially visible in cold weather. Jacqueline also had a roundish dark birthmark on the left side of her waist. On 7 May 1957, when Joanna was 11 and Jacqueline was 6, they were struck by a car and killed while walking to church with a 9-year-old friend and neighbor, Anthony. Joanna and Jacqueline died in the spot, while Anthony died while on the way to the hospital in the ambulance. The driver was a local woman who had decided to commit suicide by driving after taking what she thought were lethal quantities of aspirin and phenobarbital. She had just came over a divorce case where she lost her children to her husband. Being envious of these children being happy, she decided to kill them. Witnesses saw her driving erratically and bearing down on the children, who were blocked from escape by a wall beside sidewalk. This incident made headlines throughout Britain. Their parents were devastated, but while Florence tried to avoid thinking about the girls, John devoted himself to doing so. On the day of the accident, he experienced a vision of them in heaven. Then he sensed the presence of their spirits in a top room of the house and took to spending time there in order to be close to them. He later said he felt the girls' deaths had been punishment from God for having prayed for proof of reincarnation. But he also felt that his prayer would be answered by his daughters being reborn into the family. Florence objected to this notion, and for a time the dispute threatened their marriage. Florence soon became pregnant again, and John became convinced that Joanna and Jacqueline were about to reincarnate into the family as twins. Florence bore twin girls on 4th October 1958, and they were named Gillian and Jennifer. Jennifer had a birthmark that looked like Jacqueline's scar and a second birthmark in the same place as Jacqueline's birthmark. Gillian and Jennifer made several statements and recognitions related to Joanna and Jacqueline between the ages of 3 and 7. When the twins were about 3, the parents brought out the toys that had belonged to their deceased daughters and which had been boxed and stored in the attic. Gillian claimed the doll that had belonged to Joanna, and Jennifer claimed the one that had belonged to Jacqueline. They both said the dolls had been gifts from Santa Claus, which was true. Florence Pollock occasionally overheard Gillian and Jennifer discussing the details of the accident. Once she came across Gillian cradling Jennifer's head, saying, "The blood's coming out of your eyes. That's where the car hit you." John Pollock recalled that when he identified the bodies, Jacqueline's head had been bandaged above the eyes. Gillian once pointed to Jennifer's forehead birthmark and said, "That is the mark Jacqueline got when she fell on a bucket." Florence had worn a smock while helping John with the milk delivery business, but put it away when she ceased that work shortly after her daughter's death. When the twins were about 4 and a half, John wore the smocks to do some painting, and Jennifer asked him, "Why are you wearing Mummy's coat?" When John asked Jennifer about how she knew the smock was Florence, Jennifer said her mother had worn it while delivering milk. The Pollocks had moved away from Hexham when the twins were about 9 months old. When they were about 4 years, the family visited Hexham again for the first time. As they walked towards a park but were not yet in sight of it, Gillian and Jennifer said they wanted to go across the road to the park and the swings, and clearly showed that they knew the way.